We've committed to this bit.
Oh, well, we're live, Rosemary, and we're off to
Yeah,
the most amazing start.
I know. I consider it a Monday problem, right? I don't know what happened this morning, but we're having we're having trouble with even something that we do on a regular basis, which is creating Git repositories. I don't know what's happening today.
I know it's it's just rough today.
It is. It is. For those who are just tuning in, welcome to PEBKAC Monday. Our PEBKAC counter is already at 1, and it's the afternoon for Erik, and it's morning for me.
I can't even type Git anymore. That's where we are now.
So last week, if you haven't tuned in, we tried to re-platform a .NET application on Kubernetes using Erik's Windows machine. We got to running the .NET application on Erik's Windows machine, and that was about as good as we got. So this week, we're going to actually try to put it on Kubernetes.
Yeah, like at least we got it to be containerized after a lot of struggles. Let's see if it's now happy enough to let me actually push the code, right?
Oh. I don't know. We'll see. Basically, we decided that it was a good thing because, best practices, when you collaborate, you're supposed to commit your code and push it to a repository. We started this morning by creating a GitHub repository. Things seemed promising. And then we discovered that you can't just add people as admin. So Erik could not push to main, which I was like, why can't you push to main on my personal account? It turns out you can't do that. So
nope. You know where I probably went wrong is doing this from PowerShell. I should have just done this from Linux. Like life would have been probably better.
Yeah, I imagine so. I mean, we've run into this before. For those who are Windows users, if you have tips or tricks on this, much appreciated. Because last week Lockie helped us a bit. Thank you, Lockie, with the PowerShell scripting bits that we needed. This week, we're just struggling to push to Git because we don't know what to do.
Well, switching to WSL2, I got it to push. I think it's all those small things that catch you out, like not being able to do rm-rf, not being able to list hidden files using the ls command. It's all those small things those paper cuts that get me. But in the end I got the repo, Barry. Let me
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, I have my berry-.net repo with the application, with the database, with some initial setup that we don't need yet from Shipyard. But we're there. We have the repo is there. We can start.
I'm finding the repo.
My mind is at ease.
Yeah. By the way, both of us, for some reason, I have been sneezing all morning. Everything's fine. Erik has a slight cold, so we're both fine. We just might sound a little funny on mic. So
yeah, my nose is pretty clogged, so I'm gonna be a bit more nasal than normal.
It'll be like the Darth Vader thing.
Oh yeah, better than Fran the Nanny thing. Do you know Fran the Nanny in the US?
No, what is this?
Oh damn, what was that series called? She was like the nanny of some British rich person, and she was like very nasal.
Fran the Nanny.
Yeah, wasn't the show just called The Nanny?
I don't know. I have never heard of this. What is this? Oh, it is The Nanny. Yes. Okay.
There we go.
93.
Am I dating myself again?
Maybe it was Fran Drescher. Fran Drescher. For those who are not as familiar with that, it was in 1993.
I also have no idea who Fran Drescher is, but I remember Fran, the nanny. Was her actual name also Fran?
Yeah. Yeah, her actual name was Fran. And she has a trademark voice. So you're not wrong.
Is it actually trademarked?
It's not trademarked, but it's definitely very distinct. Like you identify it, right? Very, very quickly.
Like very white.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So it's it's very distinct. It's very specific. People know, they can identify it. So that's it's an iconic voice. There we go. It's not maybe trademark, but it is iconic.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of iconic, we have Freeman in the house.
Hello.
Hi,
Welcome
Alexander.
to us this morning.
All right.
We're off to a slower start.
Oh, that's a bad start as well. I need to stop jiggling my my windows on Windows.
It's okay. Wait, this is a new overlay, right? You changed up the overlays because last week I was the voice behind VS Code.
Yes, and now I decided to change it slightly so it looks a little bit fresher and it's more PEBKAC Mondays. And we have the nice Homer to help us out in some occasions.
Yeah, I need donuts.
Because he is like the king of PEBKAC. Which is also why I am in his office right now instead of my own. Very
nice. That explains a few things. I was like, why did you send me a picture with Homer eating a donut this morning? And I was like, oh, okay. Okay.
Yes. So now that we have the repo set, shall we try and put this application on Kubernetes?
I think we should.
Okay.
Let's give it a try.
Now,
although there's maybe some steps that we forgot too. I will acknowledge. Yeah, well, because the application by default runs with the .NET, the C# SDK, Vault Sharp.
Yes.
So we have to tell it to run Vault Agent.
All right. Well, wouldn't the API work as well, though?
The API should work. We just need to make sure it writes out. For those who are not as familiar, so the app we have is using the SDK, the called Vault Sharp. Vault Sharp authenticates to Vault. There we go. It needs the app role and the secret ID. So that's kind of one problem with it, right? It's using like 2 levels of authentication. So that's why I don't really recommend it, because it's using app role and then gets the token. Yep. It means that the Vault agent doesn't really do what it's supposed to. So that's why I'm kind of saying maybe we need to toggle it. There's a way to toggle it to the Vault agent. We just need to make sure the Vault agent is set up correctly.
Okay.
And we need to make sure that the app settings, which is a good practice, or it's a good exercise to show this, but we need to make sure that the app settings.json, which are the application configuration settings for .NET, yep, get written out and templated by the Vault agent in Kubernetes.
Okay. Well, yeah. I think, though, as a first step to going towards that, if we just throw it over into Kubernetes first and we have a running application, yeah, we can then switch it out and make it better. Because there's some extra hurdles that we first need to do. We don't have a Kubernetes cluster and we don't have Vault.
Yep.
And I'm thinking we're kind of going to need those.
Yep, we are going to need them. Okay. And, it's okay. Everybody, you're going to expect some crash loop backoffs this morning. For those who are familiar with Kubernetes, the pod may not come up, but that's okay. We're just going to get to crash loop backoff today. If we can get to that, I'm pretty happy with it.
Oh, we're definitely going to get to crash loop backoff, because you were asking on Twitter how fast you could spin up a Kubernetes cluster with Vault.
Oh yeah. So Taylor and I had a really big debate this week on how long it takes for someone to get from 0 Vault to getting at their first secret out of Vault. And so it was like, so Taylor was arguing like 30 minutes. I was arguing like more like 36 hours, because if you don't know anything about Vault, you have to learn little bits and pieces. And like, you could go through the get starting guide. You could copy and paste all the commands. It's a great guide, but to know all the pieces and to be able to get your first secret in your organization, it might take a couple days. So we've been arguing about it. It's not like we were that mad about it. Some people were like, why are you arguing on Twitter? I was like, no, we were not arguing. We were having a constructive conversation about it.
Isn't that what Twitter is for?
That might be what Twitter is for. Anyway, so of course, then I was like, hey, we should try this. So let's see how long it takes us to get, Vault on Kubernetes running today.
Okay.
Yeah, and for those who want to fill out said survey to settle our debate, because, Taylor and I need to be validated, I'm dropping a link to the survey in the chat. All right.
So
I'm ready.
My idea to make this a bit easier is that we just spin up a Kubernetes cluster with Vault on Shipyard. How are you opposed to that, or do you think that might be an easy way to do it?
You have the blueprints, right, for Shipyard for
Yeah.
Vault? Oh, well, let's do that. It's easy enough.
All right. So that does. All right, cool. I have the Shipyard command at least. We pushed the Docker images, I think. Let me double check. I need to start Docker desktop for Windows.
I think you built them locally, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you pushed them. But.
So I'm starting Docker now. That'll help. How likely would you recommend? Well, if you don't give me pop-ups, I might be more likely to recommend Docker to a friend. I just got a new pop-up.
Are you supposed to be sharing your screen?
No, not yet. While I'm spinning that up, it doesn't make sense to put that on the screen. Let's see. Docker PS. All right. Docker images. Okay. So let me switch to the screen and we can start looking at some of this. Right. So last time we made the project API image, I believe we called it. Right. So I have that available here. I do have Shipyard. So let's just give it a whirl, right? I could actually just probably... I'm debating how I should do this. So we did make a Shipyard directory with a Windows setup in there, but I think we want to do a different one, right? Because we weren't going to use console, I believe. We're going to be using Vault. So let's create a module for that. Okay, so in here we want some files that I can actually clone from an existing blueprint. So let's see, we need a Kubernetes cluster.
By the way, for those who are not following along on Shipyard, Shipyard's a tool that Erik and Nick Jackson developed. It expedites, it abstracts a lot of sort of the configuration you would need to deploy whatever you want between Kubernetes, Docker Compose. I don't know if some of the other targets as well, but
it's basically, you can spin up containers, Kubernetes clusters, Nomad clusters, just binaries, and then you can connect them together with networks. You can connect remote targets now as well, which is kind of nice. So if you have like a remote Kubernetes cluster, we could actually hook into that with a local application, and it would seem as if it was all local. So what I'm actually doing now is I'm copying over some of the files that we already had in a blueprint, and I'll go over them in a second to explain it a little bit. All right, so we need a database, but we don't need Postgres, so I'm gonna comment that one out for now. So I'm gonna create a Kubernetes cluster using the K8s cluster resource name. We only need one node, right?
Yeah.
All right. And I'm gonna...
How big is the node we're talking about?
Oh, it'll just be, like, resource-wise, it'll be as big as your computer, so...
Okay.
Don't have to worry about that.
So then we should be okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we should be fine.
I'm going to connect it to the network called Cloud, which I'm creating here with a subnet. Not really important, but if we want to connect another cluster later, we at least have different networks. And then I'm going to use the Vault Helm chart to be installed on that cluster that we're creating from the chart. What version of Vault Helm do we want?
Why don't we just do the latest?
What is the latest? That's a
good question.
Yeah, I'm checking it now. Let's see. 091.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we might want to add, let me just create a new folder in here called config, and I'll put a Vault values YAML file here.
Yeah, so for those who haven't used the Vault Helm chart yet, so previously with Vault on Kubernetes, you had to sit there and hopefully reverse engineer and hope that you got it right. I think Vault, and then we invested in building out a Helm chart, which makes it a lot easier to deploy a Vault, basically I guess a highly available Vault on Kubernetes. I think the changes we made to integrated storage with Vault really helps this use case in particular.
Yeah.
Previously, you would have to set up some remote backend, whether it be console or something else. And it made it really hard to manage Vault on Kubernetes in particular, because you had to make sure all of the, basically all of the interactions and the connections were there. So makes it easier.
Yeah. Oh, I'll actually put you on camera because you were explaining.
We need to figure out this overlay.
Like with the Helm chart, installing Vault and console now is actually like really, really easy. It's my favorite way of installing both, actually. So I have the values file set up now. So let me switch back to that. And we're just gonna make it really simple. I'm gonna enable dev just for this use case. It'll be easier. Enable the UI. Basically, this is the only config we need. And it'll be used by the Helm chart here. And then we have a health check that'll check if Kubernetes is ready with our pod. I think that should be enough for us to get a cluster running. So shall we give that a whirl?
Let's give it a whirl.
All right, so.
My question is, have you ever run Shipyard on this computer before?
Yeah, I'm in Linux now, so.
Oh, okay. But Shipyard does it run Linux or runs Windows?
It runs on everything. All right, so. Just making sure I'm not running anything. Okay, cool. Nothing here. So Shipyard runs on Windows, Linux, and Mac. So one of the other blueprints I have in here is actually an entire Windows-focused one. So the console Windows one, it basically just runs binaries and PowerShell scripts, etc. And that all works as well.
Great. We're going to get to this much later, in theory.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct. Okay. When we're actually going to hook up multiple Kubernetes clusters together, and that'll be more exciting. But for now, it's basically, it created the network, it's spinning up a Kubernetes cluster, spinning up the documentation. In the meantime, let's check here. So the docs seems to be running. Other than that, it's... Oh, I'm guessing it's pulling some Docker images that I hadn't had before yet. So that's probably slowing it down slightly. Because I think normally this one, when you have the images,
right,
it's like 30 seconds, but yeah. Pulling K3S and pulling the new version of Vault takes a bit. But as we can see,
you expedited this. Yeah, you expedited this last time by basically doing a Docker pull, right, on PowerShell. Yeah.
Yeah, and as long as the images are available on your local Docker daemon, it'll be mounted in the K3S cluster as well, so it'll go up even quicker. We have 4 things running now. There we go. All right.
So while we wait for this to still continue creating, I
Yep.
have 2 questions, Eric.
Oh, all right. Go ahead.
Where is the music this week? Last week we had some beats that was a little too loud, but people liked it.
So another PEBKAC / technical difficulty is my wife likes to go jogging, and she likes to go jogging with music, and that means that she takes my music. There we go.
There we go.
Oh.
And the second is, where's your floating head?
My floating head. Well, that was a PEBKAC last time that I thought we wouldn't do this time. So yeah, there's that. If you prefer the floating head, I could bring it back for the next episode.
Some people were really enamored with it. I think we were mixed. Some people were really enamored with the floating head. It was a little creepy for others, so maybe not. We'll alternate.
I think it was mostly creepy. So, all right. So our cluster is up and running. This seems to be all fine. I don't remember what we set up as the credentials, so let me double check. I don't think anything. So if we do Veld status, what do I do? Oh, I haven't set.
Yeah, did you forward it?
There we go. So I just had to put the environment variables, and we have like a little helper command shipyard env to output all of those.
Including the token, correct? Oh, there we go.
Yes. The token is super secure on this one.
Yeah, no one do this. This is not something, don't do this vault token route.
No. But for us to get all of this up and running, it should be okay. And the nice thing is it also sets our kubectl, get pods. If I can type, there we go. We can see that we have Vault running. We actually do have Postgres as well, but we're not going to use Postgres. We're going to use MS SQL, right?
That is correct. Yes.
All right. And I believe that last time we did pull an image for that as well, didn't we?
I think we built it.
Yeah, I think it's this one.
Yep.
All right.
It's database. So the Microsoft MS SQL Server Linux. Yeah. So this one is the one that we pulled. That's the base image for the database.
Oh,
so
that's
DB
that's Microsoft one.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So.
Which, by the way, is 1.35 gigs.
Yeah, it's pretty massive compared to all of the other ones.
Yes.
Why is that? Why is it so big?
I imagine they had to do some interesting things in order to have Microsoft SQL Server replatformed on Linux. I should do some more research though. It is a much older image, so I just for some reason I could not get the newest image working, like bootstrapping the data config into it. So I've been using this Microsoft Server, MS SQL Server Linux one that they built for a couple years ago. So it could have gotten smaller, just as a note. But when they tried to first replatform it onto running in Linux, the database can be, a larger binary in general.
I'm wondering if they're gonna rework it entirely into .NET Core so they can actually compile it for each of the different systems.
I think they probably did rework it. It's like I said, this is an older image. So the one you do probably want to use instead is mcrmicrosoft.com MS SQL /server.
Are we gonna change things up again? More things to break?
No, we're not gonna do that. Refactoring right now. This is a refactor for later.
Okay.
Rosemary's gonna refactor this later, kind of thought.
All right, that makes me less scared.
Yeah, let's not do that.
No.
We already had enough PEBKACs.
Yeah. All right, so let me just copy paste some YAML files that we can use in our repo, right? So let me switch back to the code. Hello, Big Rosemary. Looking at you.
Goodbye.
I'm in the corner you're looking now, so it looks kind of weird.
I know. Other direction? Did I mirror it wrong? I think I mirrored it wrong. Whatever.
Oh, it's all good. All right, so we have Vault there. Let's also add our database.yaml and we're gonna need our app API, it was called, I think, .yaml. We're gonna do a lot of YAMLing today, right? So
we're YAML developers now.
Let's just create services for each of them for now, so we can test from our local machine as well.
Yeah,
that might be easier. So let's make the one for database. Let's call this MSSQL. I'll just call all of them the same. Port would be SQL, I guess. Do you remember what the port was? Was it 1433?
1433. Yep.
Yay! I remembered something.
Yeah. See, we've got this. We've got this. Yeah. I think.
All right.
Hold on. We're gonna make sure. Yeah, 1433. I was like, wait a second, which one's which? And I thought about it. I was like, no, 5432 is Postgres, I think, isn't it?
No.
No, what is 5432?
Oh, that is Postgres. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's Postgres.
All right, so SQL, this is going to be database. I'm just renaming all of these things, basically. We only need one of them.
Yeah. For those who are not as familiar with Kubernetes, want us to slow down and explain a field, please let us know.
Yeah, so I'm going to comment all of this out because the blueprint I'm copy-pasting this out already has like the agent set up, but we're not going to do that initially, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think that it doesn't, Microsoft SQL Server doesn't need the agent, right? Because
oh,
it's the database.
That's true. Yeah, I can just
it doesn't need it at all.
You are very correct. I didn't even think of that.
Actually, could the agent write back to Vault? I don't think so. I guess not. No, it doesn't.
I don't know. It doesn't.
No.
But technically, nothing should stop it from doing so. Like you could update it, I guess.
Anyway,
do we even need a service account for the? I don't think we need one then for the database.
No, but it's good to always run it,
True.
I guess with a separate service account. I mean, it couldn't hurt.
Very true. All right, so here we have the image and, well, it's called DB.
So descriptive.
Yeah. Shall we rename that? I'll rename it there. Let's call it
unless
HashiCorp database.
Why is it? I guess. Okay, close enough. HashiCorp database is fine.
I kind of like that name. I think it sounds pretty cool. HashiCorp.
Yeah, I guess if I ever decide to create my own company, I'll call it HashiCorp.
And did we need any environment variables in the database itself? I think we need to look at our code, don't we?
Let's check the Docker Compose. Yeah, look at the Docker Compose.
Yes, it did. Except EULA. And we need to set the password.
Password, SA password.
So I'll just paste it in like that first and then fix it after. So while I'm doing this, if anybody's asking any questions, will you help them?
No. I will help them.
Right.
I will help. You're welcome to ask questions in the chat, comments, tell us we're doing something wrong, which is quite likely given I'm not fully awake and Erik may or may not. Yeah, Erik may or may not be typing something correctly either.
Very likely. All right, so that looks pretty good. The IP doesn't matter for us. The networks we're doing ourselves. I think that should be enough for the database.
Yep.
I'm wondering though, well, we'll find out. When I destroy this and I'll create it again. It'll be fine. So
it will be fine.
Yeah, don't worry. It'll all be fine, people. That's how it usually goes. So we want a database on the cluster we just created. The file is actually in config/database. Should we wait until it's ready? Oh, we might as well put a little health check so we know it didn't fail.
Yeah, Yeah, but keep in mind the liveness probe, though, doesn't actually indicate that the data has been loaded, right? So what happens is the database starts and then it runs a procedure to load data. And so the liveness probe or the readiness, actually, I think technically the readiness probe will say it is ready when the database comes up, but it's not technically ready until the data is loaded.
No, because it's running our entry point, which contains... Well, do we still have that here? I don't think we do. Oh, it's in here.
We do, because it's in database.
It's in this one. So it does the import and then starts a database.
Yeah.
Well, and that one, it has the sleep in there as well still, so...
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So let's give this a whirl. Let me clear my screen.
Before you do this, did you rename the image?
No.
So to recap, in our Kubernetes YAML, so originally our database was DB, which is so descriptive. In Kubernetes, we said we needed the HashiCorp database image, so we're renaming it. That's all.
Well, and I'm gonna rename project API to HashiCorp/API as well.
Okay.
Just to keep it all nice and clean.
HashiCorp. No, you missed a Y.
It's fine.
Are you going to remember that you missed a Y?
No, that's why I renamed it now. Oh, Docker images.
If someone in the chat is available for PEBKAC counting, we might actually need one. Right now, I think we're at 3.
Yeah, me and Nick were debating on creating a bot that would keep score for us. Because right now we're using or abusing one of these Slack bots to do that. So we're basically the bot that we normally use to thank people for doing things. Nick and I use to say basically Nick++ for PEBKAC, and then that's how we keep score right now. But I think we need to build a service with a database where you can actually add a PEBKAC, but also add the reason, like what was the PEBKAC, because that might be cool.
Yeah. Or why don't you just do the emoji? Like we could get a PEBKAC emoji, right? And like in Slack, you can do the emoji thing where you funnel emoji.
We should do that on Twitch.
Tags. Yeah.
We should have a Twitch bot that would, like, if people put the PEBKAC emoji, it will add to the counter.
Yeah. Maybe we need to engineer that some other day.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna do shipyard run on our Veld config again. Let's see. That was really fast. Am I in the wrong directory? I'm really wondering now because I might well be in the wrong directory. Hold on. This will be a hoot when... Where am I now? All right, so that's there, which should be there as well. I'm just wondering where I messed up that it's creating things that I didn't tell it to create. Do you ever feel like that, Barry?
On occasion. I don't know if it's like Monday or...
Well, it is Monday.
Okay, go back to the air. What is it angry about?
No, it's not angry. It's just creating things that I didn't... Hold on. I'm just going to get rid of everything.
Where's your ingress? Where is this ingress coming from?
No, that's why I'm thinking I'm in the wrong directory, so...
No, it says home Erik, shipyard, blueprints, vault K8s files, config, Postgres. Where's this Postgres YAML? Or is your .shipyard caching something?
I don't think so. So I'm just going to recreate it quickly. Since we have the images, it should be faster now. But I wouldn't expect an ingress this time.
But what is this .shipyard, right? The hidden file. So it's running to home Erik.shipyard blueprint.
Oh, so now the interesting part will be, hold on, I don't want PowerShell. No. right? So here it will keep your current state.
Oh, okay. So it thinks that there's like a Postgres YAML.
Yeah, but
we don't have one.
No. So that should be fine, I think. Because if we do... Like, this is the confusing thing about basically having Linux and Windows on one machine at the same time. And then having basically 2 home directories. No. Let's see. So nothing in there, right? So can't be that. Let's also check in data. That's just an old one, so that shouldn't... There we go.
Okay, right. So...
This is better. Because I just made a typo here somewhere, right? So I probably renamed something YAML without the A and the other one with.
No, it's vault.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. And then why can't it find vault values?
Probably, I'm guessing the exact same reason.
All right. PEBKAC counter is that 5. Does that count as 1 or 2?
Well, probably 2. There we go. But the nice thing is I can just run it again and it'll continue from there. It'll keep track for me. Good morning, Bennett. Thanks for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you're doing better than us while multitasking because we're having a rough time.
Yeah.
All right, so we have our cluster up and running. Let me do the eval. There we go. All right, kubectl get pods. All right, so I don't know why we're getting an image pulled back off of the MS SQL. I'm guessing we need to mount that image in here. So I believe
it's not built right? It's not built automatically as part of it as K3s. Okay.
But we can push it in. And I believe, and let me check the shipyard docs, that we can actually push it in by using the image tag. So I'm going to go to the resources. Here, you can all browse with me. Right, we're going to go to Kubernetes cluster. And then... Don't want helm.
I want the wow sound effect. You know, when you change screens, I want wow.
Which wow?
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh. There we go.
Copy from local cache. There we are.
Yep. So we only need that. So in our, let me open my editor again. Kubernetes cluster. We can add the image field. And then we basically want to push berrycorp/database. And there's another image we want to push, and that is berrycorp/API.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's just do a destroy, because we need to get rid of the cluster so we can push the images in. And then we'll just do a run again. Now that it's actually cached those images, it's quicker than it was initially.
Yeah. So as a note, it's because you're running K3s, right? So if you were running Docker for desktop automatically picks up any images that you've built to the local cache, right? K3s won't. So you have to, Shipyard is going to do for you is mount those images or push those images into.
Yeah, because Shipyard basically has its own little Docker daemon inside, or the K3s cluster.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Cool. And Shipyard looks an awful lot like Terraform, probably because it uses HCL, but the
and
Shipyard Destroyer also
DAG.
looks a lot like it. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Do you like DAGs?
I do like DAGs. Do you like DAGs?
I love DAGs. Have you seen the movie Snatch? No?
No.
Oh.
Maybe? I'm really bad with remembering which movies I actually remember. I actually did or did not see. That is my problem.
It's a very good movie. So you need to watch that.
Okay, I'll be sure to watch that. A DAG is a directed acyclic graph, by the way, and that's what actually Terraform uses under its little mechanism to determine what dependencies you create.
Yes, that is correct. So Shipyard does the same. It builds up a graph of all your resources and dependencies, and some resources you can explicitly also add dependencies. So you want to wait on certain resources to be created. It'll take care of that for you, and it'll then make sure that everything spins up in the right order. But DAGs is also dog in dialect.
There we are.
So learn something again. So now I'm thinking it's probably pulling the very large Microsoft image. So while we do that, let me bring you back on screen, Barry. There we go.
I'm back on screen. Okay.
So
while we're waiting,
what are our next steps, right? Once we have this up.
Yeah. So we'll need to configure Vault to handle the database usernames and passwords, right? So once you create the database, and you may or not create your database in Kubernetes. Maybe you create the database somewhere else. If you're using Azure, you might just use one of the managed SQL Server offerings. But
yes.
Once you create the database, you need to configure Vault with a policy as well as the database secrets engine for Microsoft SQL Server. So you need to create the ability for Vault to, first of all, access the Microsoft SQL Server database instance and ultimately create usernames and passwords. There's a couple of nuanced configurations when you do this. So the database secrets engine in Vault has a couple different databases. So there's Postgres, there's MySQL. So you can configure a number of them, but they're all going to differ in terms of the user management policy. And so you will have to change how you declare Vault handles the usernames and passwords depending on the database's syntax.
Yes.
So there is a nuance to it. In the case of Microsoft SQL Server, what we're actually going to do is configure it with, trying to remember exactly what we're configuring it with. We're configuring it with basically a temporary role, as I recall. So it's using a temporary role that will create a user and then time out and expire the user. Okay. So there are a couple of different ways to do it.
So that's different from
a login.
Postgres and MySQL then, because their Vault basically creates a user and then removes that user for you. Whereas MS SQL has a mechanism for it?
So what happened was, this is the problem I ran into. Okay, so I'm remembering this now when I was testing this out. Microsoft SQL Server in theory does have this, right? You can, in theory, expire a user and pass it in. For some reason, depending on the level by which you declare your database and then the user by which who can access and do things to said database, you may or may not be able to set the expiration, right?
Okay.
So I tried it to set the expiration and I kept getting back an error that says, you can't do this. Your user has no permission to do this. We can't time out the error. We can't time out the user. And so Vault problematically was the plugin was throwing errors saying, I can't do this to the database. The database had 4 or 5 different usernames that were not expiring. So I ended up doing the create and delete because I couldn't get the permissions on the different sort of the database access restrictions working correctly.
Okay.
I think it's more of the container than it is the actual SQL Server instance.
So just the setup, the way they implemented it.
Yeah. So in the end, it does do a create and then it will delete the login. And that's what it will do by default.
But this is probably something that if you were using the container to run your MS SQL database, you could probably override some config in some way, right? I would assume.
Yes, you could do it. I didn't dive too deeply because, to be honest, the creating the user and the deleting the user is pretty sufficient.
Yeah.
I didn't really notice any real performance concern. Although, if you're running this, first of all, if you're looking at this for performance, you may not even want to run it on Kubernetes. Second of all, in this particular situation, I had the timeout set to like 5 minutes. So in Vault, you can set how long that username and password lasts. I set it to basically expire in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, which is still pretty quick, right? Like, yeah. I can imagine people going for like 10 minutes or something, but like that wouldn't be a huge load on the database.
No, but I will say, like, in this situation, you may not want to set your database to expire, your database password and username to rotate every 5 minutes in Vault. It's not necessarily practical, right?
Yeah.
You might set it for 30 days, and that's more reasonable. It shouldn't cause increased friction. The point is that, like, if you're running Vault on Kubernetes and you're setting this up, it's pretty reasonable. A lot of the automation has been written to handle this for you. But if you are not setting up Vault on Kubernetes and your application is not running on Kubernetes, you might consider setting it to 30 days. And that's okay, as long as it rotates every 30 days and the application can pick up the changes. Yeah. So it will sort of depend.
Like, ideally, you would want it to rotate as often as possible if your application can very gracefully handle that and make sure that it has the updated credentials. Which, when you're working with legacy applications, very often is not the case.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of the next steps, we need to actually configure Vault itself. So the fact that you've configured Vault locally means that we can actually run some of these we can write policy in place so that it changes the passwords and stuff. We're not going to change the root password. There's a way in Vault that you can do this, where you can change the root password, but we're not going to do that. So we're just going to use the SA password, or the SA username and password that we set already. And so once we configure the Vault database, the Vault database secrets engine, mouthful this morning, then we can create the application. And then after we create the application, we can then add the annotations so that it actually uses Vault agent.
Yeah. Let's see in the meantime. We actually have a cluster up running. So if we do docker ps, we have K3s there. And I didn't set up an ingress yet, so we don't have an exposed Vault yet. But if we do kubectl get pods, we still have image pull back off. So did I make another typo? Let's take bets in the in chat. What do you think?
Where is the typo? I at this point I don't actually know what you've written or what you haven't written, because I think it's kind of cut off, so I can't see. Oh, poll access denied. Did it require a username and password for local cache for no apparent reason?
No, it shouldn't. I am now really starting to wonder if I forgot something. Hold on. Diving back into the documentation.
Are you sure that it is like a local image and not looking for a remote one?
No, so
because when it does the slash,
local ones.
I know, but is there a flag for it?
No. So normally you would use the image format to put them in. But for some reason,
I think because you've used the slash, it's automatically looking for a repository. That's what I wonder.
Ooh, that might be the case.
So if you put a dash, it might actually recognize it as a local image and not as what it thinks as a remote repository.
Well, what if we just try to use the old one, the non-descriptive one?
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, and is it actually because... No, that should be latest. Hold on, Barry. You entertain people for 1 sec while I ask IT Help Desk, also known as Mr. Sheriff Jackson himself.
Tell him to come on here. I don't think you have another overlay, but you can superimpose him over my overlay.
No, hold on. You talk to the people while I ask.
I am talking to the people. We're going back and forth. Yeah. So basically, for those who didn't tune in last week, I'll summarize a bit of it. We spent quite a bit of time trying to get the .NET application running on Erik's machine and compiling the image. So for those who missed it, or who are curious about the actual like code that this is based on, I'll put it in the chat. You also will hear some morning routine happening in the background. I'm sorry, this is limited space, so I'm working out of my living room, and there's going to be some background noise. So I apologize, but some of it cannot be helped.
That's fine.
Is he joining, or you're still confused?
No, I'm trying to ask Nick. Because it used to work, which is always the worst. Don't
change
you
it
hate
to DB. I know. Well, change it to DB and then see what happens.
Yeah, or I'll just push it to Docker Hub.
That is true. I already pushed one to Docker Hub. We did this last time, remember? Hold on, let me give you the one on Docker Hub. Pause.
All right.
There's one on Docker Hub. So what happened was that last time, the container wasn't building on Windows because should I put it in the Twitch chat, Erik, or you want me to DM it to you?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in the Twitch chat for those who are curious. But basically last time, Windows carriage returns were being added to the scripts. And so we couldn't compile it correctly on Erik's machine, which is running Windows, right? So there was some like 7 levels of Windows embedded in Linux, all sorts of back and forth. So we pushed this image just in case, and it turns out we need it now. So yay, most excellent.
Yeah, I'm still somewhat in denial because,
Erik, just do it for the sake of it. You can fix this, debug this on Wednesday. By the way, for those who are curious, there's a shipyard specific one on Wednesday. So you could debug this on Wednesday.
All right. There we go. So let me then change this up. We'll go to database and we'll just use that image. Then let me do shipyard tane cates config dot. Did we call it database?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
By the way, it's kind of cut off.
What is cut off?
Your terminal is cut off. I basically see.
Oh, hold on. That's because
a portion of the screen.
It's because we were still looking in Berry view. And now we have the problem that I'm blocking it again. So there we go.
That's okay. Good enough.
All right.
Look.
So kubectl get pods. Let's see. Container creating. That looks more promising.
Yeah. Look at that. It's thinking.
So this will be it pulling it, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
this was
I believe so.
Big image.
Yeah, maybe you should Docker pull separately, or we can. You might want to push
just
the
as
application
fast, right?
image. Yeah, I guess so.
Oh,
there we go.
We can add another PEBKAC to the camera being out of focus.
Oh,
we're at 6. There we go. The database is.
I counted the other one as 6. Is this 7 now?
Oh wow. Well, yeah. How high can we go, or how low can we go?
I'm just gonna record our records on each stream. This is.
Well, we have everything running now, so the database is up. We need the application, right? So.
No, well, I mean, we could run the application, but it would do nothing. Do you want to configure the database secrets engine first, or do you want to create the application first?
Let's create the application first. Just get it running, and then We'll fix it from
It'll
there.
crash loop back off. So.
Yeah, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
So let's rename this to API. Let's just call this HTTP. What port was it listening on? Do you remember?
I believe it was 5001.
Oh, you weren't actually running your application on here, so.
Nope, it was done separately to demonstrate it, but I think it's 5001.
I'm
Yeah,
checking.
It's
5001? All right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do that. Just put the same target port, make this API.
And so with the API, it does need the service account because the service account is what Vault will use. So Vault is set up with the Kubernetes auth, which we also have to set up as well. Actually,
Yep.
It comes by default, I think, maybe. Vault is a Vault. I think when you do deploy Vault on Kubernetes, I think it actually does the Kubernetes auth method, although I have to remember that. But you can use the Kubernetes service account JOT to JSON Web Token to authenticate to Vault. And that bypasses the need for you to create all sorts of weird logins in Vault. So the JOT from the service account will automatically log in. So we do need to mount a token for the service account.
Yes, but we did that here.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be good. I'm just double checking that in the code you are not using any environment variables, are you?
Well, it's using secret ID.
That one. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, but but that's a toggle. So if we don't define a Vault role in the app settings, so you can go to app settings and you can take out the Vault role. Yeah.
But we can keep that here because we're expecting it to fail, right? So.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So it will fail, but it does toggle off so that you could use the Vault agent, in which case it doesn't need, it shouldn't need environment variables.
All right. So I'm basically getting rid of everything then, except this. Yeah. We have a service that we should be able to call. We have service account.
The API. Did you want to change it to API image, or you want to push it?
Yeah, we need to put an image here, but we don't have one yet. So let me.
I think we built one.
Yeah, we did, but we need to push it to Docker Hub.
Oh, okay.
Because Mr. Sheriff Jackson hasn't come back to me with information. So he's really disappointing us right now.
Did you update your changelog?
For what?
Did you update the shipyard changelog with any changes to the way images work?
No.
Oh,
hold on. Let me put this on their... Well, I'll just put it there for now. Oh, I need to tag it. Hold on.
I don't know. Do you want to put it under shipyard run? Otherwise, it's now an image that you're going to...
That's fine. I can always get rid of it.
Okay. All right.
Oh. My Docker daemon, because I switched to the WSL one, isn't logged in. Hold on.
You know what? Do you want me to build it? Would that help?
No, don't think so. Well, maybe.
No? Okay.
It might.
All right. Well, while Erik logs in, hold on. This is why we commit things. So then someone else can borrow it.
There. Why is it saying?
Did you log into Docker?
Yeah, I did. You see? Succeeded even. So I don't know why the requested access to the resource is denied.
I think it has no dash. I think that's another PEBKAC counter. Shipyard run doesn't seem to have a dash.
Oh, it doesn't? Well, but that was before I did the I need to tag it on the other one as well then. Come on. There we go. Okay. Pushing it. We're getting there. Maybe. Oh, it's pushing.
I think that's another PEBKAC. By the way, I did push it in the... So yours is still pushing, but mine is pushed. So if you want to change it to Jotmon08 HashiCorp API. No.
We're committed.
You're committed? Okay. All right.
And it's not that big, so it won't take that long.
You know, remember, it's a multi-stage build from the last time.
Yeah, but it's fine. Like, most of the layers are already halfway there.
Okay.
This is fine. Like, I can pour myself a cup of tea.
Okay.
Like, this is real life. It's like, oh, well, pushing the Docker image. Let me just grab some coffee or grab some tea.
I want to know, though, if anybody has this routine, what do you do when you're waiting for things to build or push?
Play Valorant.
Like, you play Valorant? Can you even play a game of Valorant in the time that you...
No.
How long is your push? Jeez.
Well, if I had to push that database image, maybe. All right. So I just put it under there. That'll be fine. We have the image. All right. So now that we have that, let's create this. Run that. Oh, we didn't add the config here yet. So we need to create one. So that Shipyard knows that we need to create this. So API, we can do the wait until true. Doesn't matter that much this time. And it's creating the config. All right.
Let's watch. Will it crash loop back off? I think it will.
It should, yes. Someone tried to open the door. Oh, running error, running error. All right, cool.
There we go.
That is basically what we expected, right?
Oh, look, crash loop back off. I'm so pleased.
So if we take a look at what is actually happening.
You do logs.
Yeah, it starts normally, of course, but it actually crashes, right?
Yeah.
So we actually get a connection refused to the local vault because obviously in the container there is no vault.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Cool. So what do we do now?
Well,
Tell me,
now
Rosemary.
we have to configure Vault.
All right. So where do we start?
So the first thing is, let's just check Kubernetes auth is in Vault first, because as I don't recall if the Helm chart creates Kubernetes auth by default or not anymore.
I think
or you have to still set up. Okay. Well, there's one way we can check, right? It's Vault list, Vault auth list or something. No, because you set your Vault to the Vault instance already.
Well, I haven't. Hold on. I can do that. I'll add an ingress, which will allow me to, from my local machine, connect to anything else in the cluster, right?
Okay.
So I'll add one for basically all three of them. I'll add one for the database, for the UI, or the API, and the Vault.
Yeah.
So,
people are stunned that we're at 8 PEBKACs already.
really? Are they? Okay. Like, that's pretty average number for a Monday.
It is. I'm surprised it's not double that by now.
Exactly. So let's see. We want to open Vault, so we have the UI. We want the database. And the service was called MSSQL, I think. Which was port 1433. Let's just put that everywhere. I obviously don't want to open that in the browser. And we want the API, which was service called API. We could actually open that in the browser, couldn't we?
Yeah, the API can be opened in the browser. It would be at 5001. The Swagger is on 500, so if you want the Swagger, we can go 500. But
No,
we set the ports to
the output.
501.
Because that would give us the list of products, right? Just on the root path, or do we need to go to / something?
It is at /API/projects.
There we go. So that should be correct then. Let's create that. And then this should, once it's done, there we go. We have the Vault UI. And I believe our very secure token was root.
Woo.
There we go. Warning, you've logged in with a root token. Bad idea. Yes, it is. But it's there.
It is there. It is there.
And the other URL would be, what was it? api.shipyard.run. And then 5001, I think.
Yeah, 5001.
And it's not working, obviously, because the application is broken.
Yeah.
Right, but we knew that. Okay.
We did know that.
So then we need to set the export vault header localhost 8200 vault status. Okay, so that's set up. Where do we go from here?
Okay, so do a vault auth list. Let's just see if the Helm chart set up the Kubernetes auth method. I don't believe it did. So just in case.
Nope.
Yeah, so no. So we need to set up the Kubernetes auth method first. In this case, I don't remember how to do it off the top of my head. So documentation.
So one of the things that could help us here is but I didn't open it here. Well, never mind. But I actually have it in the docs of the original blueprint. So
oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to enable the Vault auth, it's basically Vault auth enable Kubernetes. Right. And then oh, let me just put that here. Right. So I'm just following the docs that's with the Vault Kate blueprint.
Nice.
That actually runs you through using Kubernetes and Vault together.
Nice.
So we can enable it, and then we can
Dismiss.
run the other commands from here, from basically inside of the Vault pod, since that will have everything configured already.
Yep.
So let's try that.
Yeah. So this big messy kubectl exec basically finds the service account token, right? And so every pod has the service account token mounted at var run secrets, right? And then it retrieves
where Kubernetes is, and basically gives it the cert. So basically now Vault knows about Kubernetes.
Yep. So if you do vault auth list,
yep,
you should see Kubernetes listed on there now.
Correct.
Yay.
So that's set up now. Now I guess we need to add annotations to our where is it? To our applications. Oh, but we need policies, of course, as well.
Yep.
Do you have those?
We also, yeah. So the policies are there. The one thing that I will say is that we have to probably set up the database config first. So I'm just going to drop the line. This is why there were scripts involved in the first place.
I have most of those here, don't I?
Yeah.
See, I have the policy.
Yep. You have it all. So if you go to demo setup.sh.
Yep.
So you want to look at line 17 on.
Yep.
So 17 on configures the database. So basically step by step, it configures the. Actually, I think you have to enable the database. You do need.
Oh yeah, we don't have the database engine enabled.
Yeah.
So we also need to enable app role, I guess.
No, you don't need app role because you're using Kubernetes auth method instead.
Oh yes, of course. We're already authenticated with Vault itself. Now we just need to authenticate with a database. All right.
Yeah.
So
you need to do Vault secrets enable, and then the path I use is on line 12. So if you go to demo setup.
Didn't I copy paste that one? Yes, I did.
Oh yeah, you did. Sorry, I missed that.
Hold on. Rosemary, PEBKAC 1.
I'm just doing general PEBKAC. Do general PEBKAC.
Oh, general.
We can collectively.
Oh well,
we can just
we're at 9.
Combine.
Then.
Yeah, we're at 9. I'll put it in there. Yeah, we're at 9.
All right. So let's enable the KV secrets. We need to set our static password for the database. Okay, that's there. And now we can set up the actual database configuration for MS SQL then. Okay.
That is correct.
So this is the same credentials we were using last time. Only we were running. No, we didn't actually get it correctly working last time. We only Dockerized it while it was outputting errors, wasn't it?
No, it was working. It just was it was just using the SA password. It wasn't using Vault.
Oh, we were not using Vault
rotating.
yet. Yes, that's correct. We just inputted it manually.
Yeah.
All right. So paste anyway.
By the way, is DB what the database service is in Kubernetes?
Oh no, we need to change that one. Good catch.
So whenever you configure, we're at 10. Great job. We're on a roll, everyone. So whenever you configure the connection URL, you need to define what the connection, the service, the Kubernetes service.
Yeah, we need the actual correct service name. So in our case, we called it MS SQL. So that's what we're going for. So I just temporarily changed it here. Well, I can actually just save it. Doesn't matter. Let's paste that again. Do another Vault write.
Why is the help Z there? What?
I don't know. This seems to be. I don't know why we get curl back.
Oh, wait a second. Is it because it's reading bang 1 2 3, like bang usually means history, right? So what if it's accidentally injecting the command from 123?
This is going to be a Z shell thing. Hold on. Let's try it like that.
Or maybe we just accidentally copy and pasted it. I don't really know.
No, this is seriously going to be a Z shell error, and it's probably going to work in Bash.
No, you have to do testing 1 2 3.
Oh,
testing.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me just copy paste the correct command this time.
I think this is PEBKAC 11.
Oh, it's going up so quickly. Oh, 11.
It escalated quickly.
All right. So Bash is complaining about it as well. So that probably means we need to...
Well, how come it ran before?
I don't know.
Oh.
Let's try single quotes and see if it's more happy with us then. I think it's the bang indeed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the paste... Oh no, it is there. Oh!
It's there.
It worked.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so now I can do exit back in Z shell. Cool. All right, so now that we have that configured, we can actually add the query that you were talking about before, how Vault will create the actual users, right?
Yep, the creation statement.
Okay. So basically, it's just the SQL statement that you would normally use as a database administrator as well.
Correct. Yes. And by default, it has a deletion statement that is just going to delete the user. That's what happens with the Microsoft SQL database engine in general. That's the default behavior.
Okay. I'm sliding off the screen, which in some cases could be good. So let me apply that as well. Create that. Fingers crossed that this one will actually...
Yay!
Okay, that went smooth. Good. What else do we need to do? I guess we need to write our policies now.
Yes, we need to write our policies.
So this will actually allow our database to get those read credentials then.
The API. So this is a policy.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
This is a general. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's API. It's any service that has this policy or any Vault associated login that has this policy allows it to retrieve the information from the project-API/database.
Let's see. One up. We're in modules. One up. We're there. We need to go even one more up. There we go. Ran that one. Now we can actually write this because...
Well, we don't need to write any of the auth method, right? We could test this and
we don't want the app role again?
No, we don't need the app role because it was previously an app role, right? So we don't need that right now. We are on the root token. So if we run this, which is the Vault read projects API database creds, I pasted it in the chat, but if you run that command, it will retrieve the username and password for the database. If you get this like really weird string for the username and a stranger string for the password, that means that you've set it up correctly.
Okay. So if we have all of this, we should be done then, shouldn't we?
Yeah, you can give it a try.
Inject it.
Yeah. You could just test this though. So just in your command line, run the Vault read projects API database creds. /creds.
Oh, that one.
/projects-API -role. Projects-API -role.
Don't I have a bit too much at the start then?
No, because that's the it's under projects API, right?
Oh, okay.
Well, unless there's...
Let's see.
Did we not configure it?
Oh, I know. Here. You just shouldn't have me type.
What? I can't tell.
There we go.
It works. There we are. Yeah.
That's
so
why
you'll notice that...
Just don't make me type.
What do you mean don't make you type? Well, no, but where are the creds then?
Oh. No, it's not that one. It's... Hold on.
No, it's
not
no.
roles.
Go back. Yeah, it's creds. There you go.
There we go.
There we are.
Password. It was just me PEBKACing again because I did /role instead of -role.
Okay, I'm adding to 12.
Oh. This will be a hard one to beat, PEBKAC wise.
I don't know about that. Okay.
It's I'm gonna have a lie down after this.
I know. I'm gonna nap. Okay. So the good news is that we've configured this correctly. The reason why you know it's configured correctly is that it's issuing a username and password correctly.
Yeah, we're actually getting credentials by doing a read. But now we need to
The lease is 2 minutes, so this will disappear in 2 minutes, by the way. So if anybody somehow manages to compromise Erik's machine, and in 2 minutes, they won't be able to log into this database anymore.
Should we wait 2 minutes?
No, let's not. Okay.
So let's add some annotations, I guess, to our API.
Yep.
So that it'll automatically get injected?
Yep.
Right. Okay. So I actually had those. And let me re-get them. Config. Can't type. It's fine.
We are on a roll this morning.
Oh, it's It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Where? There we go. Okay, so we want to inject the agent, right? That's the first step. Do we want to assume a role? Because we didn't have any roles defined. Or, well, our role was...
Yeah, we did.
The project API role, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's look back at this. The policy was projects API. The database role was projects API role.
Okay. Projects API. Oh, so close. And still typed it. All right. So we need that role. Then we need to tell it which path to inject the secret at. Or where it can find it.
Oh, so the path of the secret is that creds, right? Endpoint?
Yep, exactly.
So.
So that was this one. Let's put that back in. There we go. And then lastly, we need to write it to a file. So are we just going to put the entire appsettings.json and replace it? Or what are you thinking?
Yes, we need to inject basically the entire, I believe it's the entire one, right?
Okay.
So we can't just template half of it and then it doesn't merge. I think you have to do the whole JSON.
Yep. Okay. So we're basically going to grab everything.
Everything, and we'll just delete the vault address piece. So it doesn't need the vault address piece.
Yep. Okay. Let me think that is correct. So like that. So where do we push in the actual credentials?
So you need to add it to connection strings. So the connection string is going to have a, I'll send it, it's easier, but there's like there's a little part of the connection string that's user ID and password. So connection string should look something like this. I'll add it in the chat. So it's database and then colon and then that server dot, right?
Okay.
The server dot is referencing the database local. So you'll have to tell it, MS SQL.
Okay.
And then don't forget the database field at the beginning of that. So because it's a map, JSON map.
Which one do you mean?
So at the beginning of line 59.
Oh, I deleted the actual name of the thing?
Yeah.
Good job.
I'm not going to count it as a PEBKAC because we didn't push anything.
Yeah. Like, compared to all the other ones, this was very minor.
Yeah. Okay. So what we need to do is grab the data user and data password from the creds project API role.
Yep.
So I don't know how we read that in.
Well, that should automatically be grabbed here.
Hopefully.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
But we do need to basically do something like this. And we only need it in this area. And we actually need to.
Yeah, that project creds.
Yeah. And then we need to put the end.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to add the little dash at the beginning as well for the with secrets project. Or actually, I guess end too. That's fine. That should be fine.
Yeah, just so it doesn't create a white space here.
Right. Do you need it at the end? Like the dash is at the end and that one.
Yeah, but it'll remove the line, I think, like this.
No. On 59, Like before the end of the...
Yeah. I was assuming you meant end, like...
Yeah, that end.
There?
No.
Okay.
I know. It was confusing. All right, we're good.
All right. I don't think it actually matters, though, because it's JSON. It'll just ignore the new line, or should. So
yeah,
it'll just look cleaner. So I'm guessing this should be everything?
Yeah, I'm a little hesitant about the role. I don't know precisely if that's the role that we are looking for, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, it can't be worse than what we have now, right?
Right.
All right, so...
Did we need to attach the policy to the service account? Did we forget that?
I don't know if I did that.
Because you need to attach a policy, right, to the service account?
Yep.
To the Kubernetes service account. I don't think we actually did that.
I don't think so either.
Okay. All right, let's do that. So anytime you create a policy, you need to attach it to the accounts that can use it, right, based on the auth method. Now, previously, the app was using app role, which was a little bit more generic. We need to attach the policy to the Kubernetes service account.
We didn't do anything else with it.
Yeah, so we have to bind the service account to the Kubernetes service account to the policy that we've defined, which is the project's API.
All right, well, talk me through it, Barry.
I don't remember this off the top of my head. I thought you had docs on this, which we create our named role, right? We have to create a named role or something to attach the policy.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the actual docs that I had back so we can just follow along.
Yay. Yay for docs.
Yeah. It's been a rough morning.
I know. Well, you know what? We made progress. We made progress.
Yeah, being sick is not helping.
We could close out early if you want. We don't have to. We can continue crash loop back off.
No, I mean, it's pretty much the same amount of PEBKACs as it would be if I wasn't sick. So I think that's pretty decent. All right, so let's see, policy. Need to write it, assign it. There we go. So we need to write our role and bind it to that, right? So let me add that in our little, where did you have it? Demo setup. I'll put it at the bottom in this case, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll clean this up later anyway. So our role was projects API, role.
And then role, yep.
And then service account name was called API. And the namespace is default. And then the policy was this one.
Projects-API. Yep.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's write that one.
Oh no, your V.
Fixed it. Doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
I was really quick with that one.
Rule? Is there a 5-second rule for PEBKACs?
Yes. I think there is a 5-second rule for PEBKACs. Okay.
Okay.
So now that we have that, let's just try and taint the pod and see if we get a correctly working one. Okay, it's config.api, I think we called it. And then let's run this again. Oh, now there isn't. Now there is a PEBKAC.
Oh, it does not like it.
We made a typo somewhere.
Is invalid. So I think the it doesn't like the dash or something.
No, it's. Oh.
I don't think it's that. I think it's the role. I think it doesn't like the role.
Why doesn't it like the role?
Just call it API, maybe. I don't know. That's why I'm asking. What was the role for? Do you remember? Why you configured the role in the first place?
Well, it's the one that you're binding it to, right? So it's the exact same as that we just wrote.
Mm-hmm.
But why is it complaining? It doesn't like the dash in there?
But it allows the dash.
That's weird. Wait, did we forget a quote somewhere?
I don't know. I can't tell.
Look away, Barry.
Oh. Yeah, I guess we're on a...
Okay, that one counts. All right.
For those who missed it, we put in a slash instead of a dot, and I didn't catch it. And neither Erik nor myself caught it. So
no.
Great job, everyone.
And I wrote the slash.
And no one caught it in the chat either. So we're all great.
Think how bad I feel. I wrote it. But we have the APIs up and running, so...
Could it be? Did it work?
We want the...
API.
Well...
Okay.
No.
It's still not... Why does it think that it needs to get the Vault token? Well, that's funny.
It's trying to communicate with Veld on the local host.
Did you mount the app settings into...
Isn't it in the container itself?
It's already like baked in though. So where is it writing to? Right? So if it's using the one that's default baked in. So where's the new app settings writing to now? Did we not configure that?
Well, it's crashing now, so...
Well, yeah, it's crashing now because it's not using... Well, you could try the logs again, but I think it's not using the one we mounted. It's using the app settings. That's the original app settings that was baked into the... Did we have to do agent inject file?
Oh, wait, we're creating the config, but we're not actually telling it where to go.
Right.
So, good job, us.
Right. But like, if we tell it where to go, does that mean that should override it, but it doesn't mount it, does it? I mean, because it's an injector, so we'll just...
No, but this one should be the actual secret, shouldn't it? This is the path where it actually writes it.
Right. So that's fine. Everything is fine there. So the problem is it needs to write to appsettings.json, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like, how do we tell it to write to appsettings.json? I mean, it could just write it and override it, but because the agent injector does a shared mount, right?
Okay.
So we need to tell the app to run the appsettings.json in another directory, correct?
I guess so. It's your app.
I think it can only run the app settings from that directory, which is a little problematic.
All right. So I'm just going to sip on this tea. And then...
While I think about this. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. All right. Well, let's look. .NET read from app settings in another directory. If anybody remembers this off the top of their head, that would be much appreciated. Oh, from app settings external configuration file. Okay, so...
Because obviously it's going to write it to Vault secrets config right now.
Right.
And we want it to actually be in, what was it, app settings?
Yeah, it's app/app settings, but we need to read it from another config. Like we need to say .NET run from another config.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm actually going to check if we cannot just override where it gets put.
Oh, yeah, you could just put it in app settings and see. Exactly. That should work, maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, because I don't remember where we put the DLL.
But it's always gonna put it in /Vault.
Will it? I mean, you can tell it to put it anywhere, right? You could tell it to put it to any, you just have to add the annotation to tell it to put it in the right directory.
Yes, but I thought it would still put it in the Vault directory. /Vault / whatever you want.
The app settings?
I'm just checking now. I'm trying to...
Oh. Let's see. Anyone in chat who remembers this would be much appreciated.
Yeah. That.
I mean, what we could do is add a JSON file from another directory, right? So, but then we'd have to change that in the code.
Yeah. Which would be more painful.
Yeah. Pretty much. Like, I know you can set it so that it reads it based on environment, right? But like, that's still depending on, like, you still have to tell it where to go.
Yes, exactly.
You still have to say even if you set ASP.NET Core environment to the environment, you still have to tell it where the JSON exists, which doesn't really help us because we'll have to read it in. You know what? I mean, the other option is we could load it in as environment variables.
Yeah, I also see, like, you could do it through config map, but that's just working around it again.
Well, what we could do is mount. We could define the mount, right? So we could say, like, right now we're running, the app is in app. So we could just define a directory called app config.
Yes.
And then we would have to change and recompile the .NET app to use the config file mount. So that's probably the easiest way we could get around this.
All right.
Okay.
All the examples, though, are, like, all the examples overwrite the path of where the secret is, but none of them change the root.
I'm looking at the annotation. Let me post the annotation. There's inject secret volume path. Right? Or no, that's not it. Hold on. Yeah, secret volume path. Yeah. Secret volume path will show where on the file system a secret will be rendered.
Okay, and we can also do agent inject file, which I think will allow you to configure the file name and path.
Yeah. I mean, we could do the first step, which is at least getting config.
All right, so
getting the app to write to config.
Let's add that at least, right?
Yeah.
Make it go to /app.
/config, right? Or because if you write it to /app, it'll overwrite the DLL too.
Well, but we want to set this one, I think, to /app.
Okay.
Right.
But it will overwrite
so the secret
DLL.
volume path.
Right.
Well, it shouldn't, because it's only gonna overwrite the config file, right? So now it would create the config inside of /app, I assume.
Okay, hopefully. I mean, I'm hoping it doesn't overwrite the DLL, which is in /app, right? Because it's mounting a new volume.
Yeah.
Which means it will overwrite
yeah,
the DLL.
It could overwrite basically everything if we're unlucky.
We could try it, and then if it fails, I mean, it's already failing anyway. So, really.
Yeah. I mean, the bar is not that high.
No, so you can do vault.hashicorp.com/agent inject file, and then just make sure it's app settings.json. Oh, configures file name and path. Yeah, there you go. So you need to add the agent inject file annotation.
Yeah, the one below it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we wanted that to be app settings JSON.
Yeah, I think it's lowercase.
Is it? I can scroll up. Yes, it is. It's all lowercase. Okay.
Okay.
Give this a whirl.
Yeah, I have a suspicion it'll overwrite everything because it's mounting a blank volume.
So too. I kind of expected to just mount the whole directory and
yeah.
We will
switch to code view. Right now it's truncated.
Oh,
your overlay.
Yeah, when you said switch to code view, I
don't know. We need to have code words for how we change back views.
Yes.
Overlays.
I didn't realize you were still partially on camera. It'll be fine. It's Monday morning. It's it's not even morning anymore for me. Okay. So
you're almost done.
Yeah. Get pods. Well, we now have a big error, so that's new.
Yeah. Not much new. Well, different error, I suspect.
API.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, there we go.
All right. So
it doesn't exist.
No, we went a step back, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So here's where we're going to go into the code. So go back to .NET Berry, Berry.NET, and actually into Project API.
Yep.
And then go into, sorry, I'm thinking about which file is best to put this in. Go back to openprogram.c. Oh no, yeah.
Wouldn't it be this?
Yeah, so it would be that. File. So then, yeah, so you could do config/appsettings.json. So then we'll just mount it to app/config. So 22.
Yep. What is it?
Add JSON file.
Oh,
it's that line.
This entire one. Okay.
Yeah, just change it. So yeah, config/appsettings.json.
Oh, okay.
/appsettings.json. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just want to
mount it. And then we'll mount it config.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
That shouldn't override it at least. And then you'll have to build and push. Yep.
All right. Let me open up another one. See, so now we're on Linux. /mount. Let's see. Like, it was a great idea doing this from Windows. It's a good experiment.
It is a good experiment. There are a lot of levels of back and forth that we're
Yep, turtles. All right, so. Nope, not that one. A docker build -t bear. Oh. Barry, you pushed the image. No, I did. Oh, good.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
There we
I
go.
know you
docker
did.
build -t shipyard run. See? That's why I had to do it.
Good.
API. We can just keep using latest, doesn't matter. There we go. Yeah, in the end, not such a bad idea to do it that way.
No. I think we're, it was a good thought. It was a good thought. Hopefully it doesn't override it this time. I would just overwrite anything.
We'll find out.
Dun, dun, dun.
Almost.
Yeah. So what's different about this app settings versus the previous app settings that we showed in the last stream? this app settings is using Vault agent, so the application has no awareness of Vault. It does not care. It just says, hey, I'm just going to retrieve the database password from app settings. Vault agent, which is the injector we're using today on Kubernetes, the injector will handle retrieving the database username and password from Vault and putting it into app settings.json. One day we need to figure out this whiteboarding thing, because this is a very weird, I mean, like if you're not as familiar with this workflow, it can be very confusing to follow.
Well, I think it's not that hard, because if you think about it, the application is just thinking, I'm reading my local config file as I would normally, right? The only thing Vault is doing is it's basically creating the config for you. And that's the only thing from an app perspective you need to get. It's Vault handling all the exchanges in the background. That's the complicated bit.
Yeah. But, again, if you're not as familiar with Kubernetes and you're not as familiar with Vault, just keep in mind that there's this workflow.
Basically this.
So if you're running something like Spring on Kubernetes, you would use this to maybe override config.properties or something, right? So you would use it to override your Spring properties.
Okay, so let's taint that one again and then see if we get more lucky. Faster to type. Okay. You haven't sneezed since this morning, Barry.
I know. I stopped sneezing. It must have been I was talking to you.
Oh, at least we got our old error back.
Why is it still reading this? At some point, is it not overriding the config.settings?
I don't know. Let's find out.
It's like it's almost reading the default config settings still. Or it's reading the app settings still.
But the container is crashing, so... Let's see. Maybe... Should we change the command of the container temporarily?
Yeah.
I think it's command and not cmd. If we change this to oh, this is an array, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
I think that should work. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Okay. Take that again. Run. Oh. Yep, good one. Multiple
What'd
directories.
you do?
Nothing to worry about. This is not the not the droid you're looking
Nothing
for.
to see here. Okay. All right.
You just close that terminal. Okay, so kubectl logs. There we go. API. Okay, so it's still running. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Exec ti. Oh, dash c. Yay. Okay. So
ls app.
we're in /app.
And then it should be in config. Oh dear.
Oh.
Cat config. What is in there? What is this? Okay. Cat output it. Oh.
So we have our file.
Config?
It just didn't pick up the file name. Right?
I'm confused.
So agent inject file
Does not work. Does work?
It did not grab that one. I'm going back to the docs to make sure. Secret volume path, we have that one. So if secret volume path is used, the path can be omitted from this value, which is what we did. To map a file name to a specific secret, use the same unique secret name. Oh, should we? Well, we didn't use a specific secret, so we don't actually need to do that. Oh, or would it be? Guessing it would be that.
To the volume path?
Well, yeah, because we named it here.
Oh, no.
That's my assumption right now. So let's try that again.
Okay, because it was config. Okay, got it. Okay.
So let's get the pods. Wait for that to be up.
Okay.
That one, container API. Let's hope it has bash. Oh, it does. Good. All right. So config. We have app settings. And that looks correct, right?
Yep, that does look correct indeed.
All right. Should there be a space here, a user ID?
Yes.
Okay. Just double checking.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why, but there is a space.
Okay, so now that this is working, we can remove our fake entry point again.
Yeah. I just hope it doesn't pick up the default app settings, right, on load. So when it loads and it's picking up the default app settings, I'm not sure if it will pick it up or not. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, we'll find out very quickly. Right, so initializing. I'm guessing it still does.
Yeah.
Oh, API. Yep, I think it still does.
Well, could you Docker ignore the app settings?
Oh, you mean just like remove the original one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. Why not? I mean, let me just create a new file, .docker ignore app settings JSON, then docker build.
Let's see if it works. I don't know if it will.
It's not liking that one.
Maybe the Docker file. What? What did it do not like now?
No, this is how many are we at?
PEBKAC 14.
Yeah, there we go. Now I remember why I had that other window.
Yeah.
Code, HashiCorp, berry.net, Docker build. There we go. It's good Lackey's not here because he would have a field day with this.
Oh, why?
Oh, just all the PEBKACs we're making?
Oh. We'll watch it on the playback.
Yeah.
Couldn't hurt.
All right, pushing.
I'm out of coffee. Yeah, it's so sad.
All right. So let's taint it again. Let's see.
Let's see. If it still doesn't work, it might be that we actually have to fix some of the .NET code to start up and load from apps, the config app settings. So we'll see.
Okay. Let's see. Oops. Still looks like a big error. Let's overwrite the entry point again for a second. Just so we can actually verify that it's not there.
Well, Check the logs though, because like what is it could just be saying that it can't load. It doesn't know where it's loading, right?
I'm already halfway in typing the other thing, so.
Oh, never mind. Committed.
Yeah, sorry.
It's fine.
So we still have an app settings.
Why do you still have the app settings?
I don't know.
CS project restore.
Did I make it? It is just .docker ignore, isn't it?
I thought so. Wait, is it not?
I think so.
Just delete the app settings then. It's not like we needed anything.
Fair enough. That works.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit harsh, but fine.
I'm going with it. I mean, like if you were to do this in like an actual process of development, you might keep like a default app setting. Like usually what you do is you say like, I have a development app settings and then I have a production app settings.
Yeah.
So you could keep the config subdirectory, right? And just have an app settings that you use for local development and testing and then override it with this mount. So that's a possibility. I don't think that's the worst case.
Oh, this is just me running it in
the shell.
Yeah.
5-second rule. I'll include the 5-second rule.
Thanks, because otherwise. Okay, it's still running, but that's also because I still have the other entry point.
Okay.
All right. We still have an app settings, Jason.
Why is cat the app settings? Hold on.
I'm wondering. I know why.
Did you not push this?
No, I pushed it, but the problem is we are dumb.
What did we do?
No, it's just there.
Oh, it's not updating. It's not putting. Why don't you just pull always? Image pull always.
Well, I could have done that as well, but this is the like correct way to do things, isn't it?
Fair. All right, we're up to PEBKAC 15.
Which
it's fine.
Feels like we're ahead of the game.
Is that? Did you name it that? Okay, we're good. We're good. Why is that?
No, I had to like step back and actually look at what I typed there. I was like, wow, I'm amazed.
We did it. It's great.
Oh, that one again.
Wrong.
5 seconds, 3, 2, 1.
Just close it.
No, because I need that one to build.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll see if it's still in there or not. I mean, I think our Docker ignore probably worked. We just didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll fix it later. Why is it still here? Can you just output what's in there? I really want to know what's in there. Why is this still in there?
I don't know.
Exit. Wait. Are you sure you're pulling V001?
Yes.
No, I mean, is it actually is the deployment actually rolled out V001?
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. Can you build and push again? Let's just build it and build it on V001 rather than latest. Why are you using API? Hold on. It's not even the right image, Erik.
It is API.
No, it's project-API. You've been pushing to project-API.
Well, there we go. Well, that explains something. I think.
Yeah. I think so too.
Monday.
It's okay. This is good. This is good. This is good. This is good. This is we're learning so much.
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, no, it's fine. You know what? We were bound to run into this.
Well, we did aptly name the show, to be fair.
We did. Right. We did. It's very on brand. We're almost there. This is, I consider this vaguely successful. Like, it does run there. Vault issues the usernames and passwords.
Yeah, very true. Hold on, let me...
Yeah, which is better than what we do before. Oh, no. Are you sure we're going for it? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wrong directory.
Are you sure? Oh, again?
Yeah. That's gonna happen every time. All right. Well, maybe I should have kept it.
Well, look at the logs. What is it saying? Hold on. We might pause for today, and then we'll figure out how to get it working.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It still has it.
I have a vague suspicion it's still there.
Why is it there still, though? I don't understand. We just rebuilt it.
Oh, this is going to be such a PEBKAC, I know for sure. It's like, oh.
This is the PEBKACs to end all PEBKACs. This is Uber PEBKAC. It doesn't go away. You know something?
No.
Exit. Okay, do this. First thing, let's bump the image version. So go back and build it again.
But V2.
Well, no. Scroll up. Can you scroll up to the Docker file in the code base, or scroll to the Docker file?
Yeah, I can.
Can you go back to...
Well, we don't have an app settings here anymore, right? So
no.
Can't be
so
that.
That's why... Okay, well, but then go back to command line.
Well, while we do that, then I'm going to build...
And then no cache it. Don't cache it. Oh, because it's caching it. That's the problem.
Oh, geez. Is that it?
Yeah, or go back to 01 and then no cache, right? So I think it might be caching it. That's why I was kind of suspicious, because it built really quickly.
Is it with an extra dash? I always forget.
Oh, it has to be before the tag.
Oh, which makes sense. Oh, caching.
We're almost there, hopefully. If not, I say after this, we'll reserve it for next time.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what?
What did we do?
Well, we ran into caching problems. We haven't run into DNS problems, at least yet.
That's true. That is true. We haven't done so.
All right.
Push.
Yep.
Well, hopefully this actually says it's pushing. And then it has to pull it down again, right? In Kubernetes, or no? Because
maybe, but it'll be fast. That shouldn't be.
No, I'm just asking if it has to, because if image pull always, right? So we have to change that.
Yeah, I think always is the default, isn't it?
Hopefully.
I think it is. Bum bum. Oh, Barry. We're at 16
Erik.
PEBKACs.
I mean, it's not bad for 2 hours. I thought we would be up to like 32.
Well, we started off in the first, I don't know, hour without a PEBKAC, I think. And,
I know, we did pretty well.
Well, we were at 3. And then suddenly it just escalated.
Yeah, that's true. It escalated quickly. It's fine.
There we go.
We're
that
almost
one
there.
Again. All right.
All right. Hopefully it actually pulls the new image. If it's not pulling the new image, I might actually...
It is, because it's initializing, so it's...
Okay. Why don't you put a watch before it? Does it have it? Oh, no. Image pull. Back off.
Oh, why? Did we... Wait,
Is it the wrong image?
Yeah, probably. There we go. Easy. No worries. No worries. Are we going to go...
YOLO. We'll YOLO.
Yes.
Your favorite way to go.
There we go. Okay.
What happened now?
No, it's complaining
Crashed.
because...
What is it? Did we repull it? That's my thing. I don't think it actually repulled it. Yeah. Oh no, it's doing the same thing. I think you have to force it to image pull always.
All right. Oh, where is that one again?
Go back to YAML.
Yeah.
API YAML.
Is it in container? I think it is.
Yeah. No, actually, I think it's at the top level, as I recall. Oh, no, it is containers.
Yeah.
It is containers. And there's image pull policy. Camel case.
Yeah.
Pull, policy, and then always with a capital A.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can set it per container.
Yeah.
All right, so tainting, running, get pods, initializing.
Oh, look, it's actually pulling it. Next time, use version numbers. Oh.
All right, I don't know, we're gonna...
You know, you could just put a watch before this.
I know.
Instead of after. No, not that. No, whatever.
Oh, you mean...
Something. Yeah. Does it let you do that? Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
There you go.
The other one works as well, only it'll output all the changes.
Right, exactly. And I just usually want to see the ones that, that matter to me. So, a little cleaner. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Could it be? Okay, well, the only way you can tell is if you actually go to the browser, right?
Yep.
Hopefully our database password didn't time out. It does rotate.
It would grab a new lease, right? That should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
API
so the trick, while you're looking at that, oh no. Are you sure it's on localhost though? I
think so. Yeah.
Oh, there we are. Okay.
So...
Oh no, it's on 80. Erik, I said it wrong. It's on 80 because it's running in production. So it's not in development mode. Sorry, that's a PEBKAC. Yeah, PEBKAC 17.
All right, well, at least this is an easy fix, right? So that would be 80. Let's change the ingress as well to be 80 then, just to keep it nice.
And then don't forget the service. Has to be 80.
Oh, yes, correct.
Just search for 5001 anywhere in there. Sorry, that was my bad. My mistake.
Well, I'm glad you're at least contributing a little bit.
Hey, I have been a very, very helpful contributor in this. I am the voice behind your terminal.
Yeah, but is it like, are we supposed to get as many PEBKACs as possible, or are we trying to get it to work? I don't know at this point.
We're almost there. We're almost there, in theory. At least it runs without.
Yeah, so that's still
error.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, don't need that then. API/projects.
Will you be allowed to run 80?
Well, I'm assuming so.
Did you shipyard? Did you shipyard it? That it was
allowed? Oh, I didn't. Hold on. We need to indeed taint some additional things. So we need to taint that one. And we need to do ingress.api. I thought it was ingress.api. What did we call it?
Ingress.h.
Oh, it's Kubernetes ingress. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that's the only thing we changed, right?
I believe so.
All right.
Let's see. Yeah, for those viewers who are still staying with us, thank you.
Rosemary.
I know it's been lengthy. Yeah, what?
Victory.
We did it. We did it.
So.
Good job.
All right, so to wrap up, what did we learn today? Well, one, we are complete failure. Well, I'm a complete failure. Two.
No, you did great. You did great.
Yeah, it only took us 2 hours.
I mean, but it's good. It's a lot done, right? So the complexity of setting up Vault, right? Configuring Vault with the Kubernetes auth method, then
but
configuring
that one
Vault
went pretty quick.
No, I mean, but still, like if you don't know what you're doing, you have to sit there and figure it out, right? The good news is that we already had a config for it. If we didn't have the config to copy paste, I think we would have been sitting there, trying to scratch our heads.
Yes.
And then, the Kubernetes, the database and secrets engine in Vault to be authenticated by Kubernetes, which was a change for the application because the application wasn't using Kubernetes before.
Yes.
And then we figured out that if you mount the app settings in a different directory and you put it in your .NET application.
Bad idea.
You can, so put it in a different path and then tell it to reference that path. Yes. And then we also fixed Vault Agent Injector.
Yeah, and we ran into the problem where if you still have an app settings.json in the root directory, like a default one, it'll always still pick that up.
Yep. So I think it's very productive.
Well, we learned a lot of things.
We did. All right. Well, we can go back to view, 2-person view.
Yeah. All right. I'll get rid of all of those. There we go, Barry.
Do we have anything else that for the next time? I guess.
Well,
console windows. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to connect this application. Basically what I want to do is I want to run the API on Linux and I want to run the database on Windows.
Okay.
Or maybe the other way around is probably a better way to go.
Yeah, probably better.
So, and then I want to hook them up together with console service mesh and then federate basically 2 clusters.
Okay.
So,
all right.
I think that'll be a lot easier because I've been... No, seriously. Like, that's what I've been doing a lot more than using Vault on Kubernetes, so...
Yeah, well,
I learned a lot.
Yay! Okay. Well, for those who are tuning into HashiCorp Live, we're going to have one on Wednesday. Same time, Erik's going to show Shipyard.
Yeah.
More Shipyard. And
then, I'm going to figure out how the image thing works, because I think I got a dev version, which is broken.
Oh, okay. And then we've got... you're terraforming with Freeman again on Friday, right?
Yes, where we're going to help Alexandra learn Terraform by creating more things on Google Cloud this time.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
And we'll be back. I don't know. We'll have to chat, but we'll probably be back next Monday, same time.
Probably, yeah.
Hopefully. Yep.
All right.
With the second part.
Third.
That's right. We are on the second part. That's a PEBKAC. We'll call it a PEBKAC 18.
All right. Well, I don't know for next time. Are we going to try and surpass it or are we going to try and stay under? What's the goal?
Surpass.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll invite Nick on the show as well then.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining us and watching us mess up a lot of times. And hope to see you next Monday.